Greetings and welcome back, dear radiant souls. It is with profound gratitude and honor that I invite you to step into this sacred space. In the presence of your divine energy, we gather to acknowledge not only each other, but the deeper, unseen forces that surround us. As we embark into a new transformative month, the whispers of ancient wisdom grow stronger. They echo from the distant past, carrying messages not just from the recent months or years, but from the ancient spirits who continue to walk alongside us. These sacred messages call upon us to remember, to honor the ancestors whose footsteps once graced the very soil beneath us. They are not forgotten. Their presence is woven into the earth, the trees, and the winds that greet us each day, silently asking to be acknowledged, to be revered. The ground on which we stand is more than mere earth. It is a living memory, a portal to the past, a testament to the lives of those who came before us. Today we embark on a journey through time, an invitation to connect with the spirits of ancient tribes. This is no ordinary journey. It is a calling for those of us who carry the light. Our path is not a mere coincidence, but a divine purpose. For we are the keepers and sharers of this sacred light. As we move through this journey, the connection we have to the land where we stand may reveal itself in many forms, sometimes in peace, sometimes in turbulence. As we encounter the energies of those who walked before us, the ancestors of this land have spoken. The lost tribes of the land to where we stand yearn to be known, to have their stories heard, to remind us that they too lived in harmony with the earth, the waters, and the sky. Though their physical presence may have faded over centuries, their spirits remain deeply rooted in the soil, watching over the land they once called home. And so, with open hearts and reverent souls, we step into their stories today. We call upon these ancient spirits for guidance, for protection, and for the wisdom they once carried. May they walk with us as we honor their legacy, teaching us to live in harmony with the earth, to respect the cycles of life, and to embrace the sacred connection we share with the land. In their memory, we find strength. In their presence, we find purpose. And in their stories, we find the light to carry us forward. I invite you to join me in a place where the echoes of those ancient spirits continue to resonate. A place that today dazzles with bright lights and bustling energy. This place is Orlando, Florida. Beneath the surface of its vibrant modern face lies a much older presence, quiet yet powerful, woven into the very fabric of the earth. The ancestors once walked this land, their stories etched into the soil, into the roots of the mighty oaks, and into the waters that flow through this region. And so, we begin here, where past and present meet. To uncover the sacred legacy that remains hidden beneath the city's pulse. Orlando, a city renowned for its magic and mystery, has drawn me ever deeper into its hidden essence. But why do I feel such a profound connection to this land? Why does it call out to me with such urgency, in ways both unique and elaborate? These questions stirred within me, yet the answers unfolded in an extraordinary moment, beneath the towering embrace of an ancient oak tree during my meditation just months ago. As I settled into stillness and closed my eyes, the air around me began to shift, almost as if the very atmosphere was awakening to something beyond the ordinary. Instantly, I felt a presence, one that no longer walks this earth, yet remains ever present in the unseen realms. I took a deep breath, feeling the warmth and coolness of the air envelop me, and as I slowly exhaled, the veil between worlds seemed to lift. Before me stood an indigenous elder, his face etched with the wisdom of lifetimes long past. His gaze, filled with the knowledge of ancient truths, met mine, and though his lips did not move, I could hear his voice, silent yet profound, speaking not in words, but in an unspoken truth that resonated deep within my soul. With a quiet urgency, he said, "I have sensed you, calling out to search for us. We need you to share our stories, for we are still here. Our spirits live within the trees, flow with the waters, and we must not be forgotten." Time itself seemed to slow, as though the very essence of existence paused to allow this moment of truth to unfold. What had I just witnessed? The energy of this sacred encounter wrapped itself around my spirit like a gentle whisper, a calling I could not ignore. It was a summons from the ancestors to honor the forgotten, to awaken those of us who are still open to feeling their presence. As I continued with my meditation, a deep calm washed over me, and I felt an immense relaxation, knowing that this was not the first time I had been called. It was the same call I had received years ago from my Taino ancestors, when they urged our people to reconnect with them. Their spirits are everywhere, in the land, in the trees, in the rocks, in the rivers. Their presence is woven into the very fabric of the world. But now it was the ancestors of this land, the spirits of Orlando, who were reaching out to me. At first, I didn't fully understand, but as the meditation deepened, so did my clarity. I realized that the spirits of this place were calling me to connect, to uncover the stories long buried beneath the surface, stories waiting to be told. As we walk our paths in this life, each of us carries a unique purpose. Some of us are here to bring light, to share knowledge, and to offer healing. Others are called to serve, to protect, or to create. Every role we take on in this journey is divinely crafted, part of a larger tapestry woven by the universe. When we are drawn to a place, it is never by accident. There is always a calling, something greater than ourselves, guiding us to the land. You might ask yourself, why don't I feel a connection to the land where I reside? Why does it seem like no matter what I do, nothing aligns? Why do I feel at peace in one place, yet disconnected in another? I may not have all the answers to these questions, but through my own experience, I've learned that it often depends on how we enter a land and how we connect with the spirits who dwell there. Every place, every patch of earth has an owner, a guardian, an energy that watches over it. And when we step onto that land, we should do so with respect, honoring the spirits that reside there. The energy we carry within ourselves and the energy of the land itself create a dynamic exchange. Too often we are distracted by the noise of the world, losing ourselves in its chaos. But if we take the time to quiet that noise, to truly listen, not with our ears, but with our hearts, we can begin to understand the depth of our purpose. There is no coincidence in where we find ourselves at any given moment. If we open our hearts and our spirits, there is always something to learn, something waiting for us to discover. When we honor the land, the spirits, and the ancestors, we create a bridge between worlds, a connection that allows us to see beyond the ordinary and step into the sacred. And so my journey began, guided by the spirit of the oak trees urging me to uncover the forgotten truths hidden in the land beneath our feet. I became curious, seeking to understand more. I began asking those who had lived in Orlando for decades about these oak trees that seem to dominate the landscape. Oak trees that are everywhere, in front yards, backyards, along sidewalks, spreading their long branches to offer shade by bus stops, parks, rivers, and even in the parking lots of shopping malls. Many told me the same thing, that these trees held little significance, they are meaningless, that they were weak in the face of storms, the first to fall during hurricanes, planted only for convenience and low cost. I listened quietly, absorbing their words. But deep down, my heart knew there was more. So much more. I gently asked them, "Are you sure about what you're telling me?" Because something within me senses there is a deeper meaning to these oak trees, something perhaps unseen by many. I felt the spirit of the land speak to me through those very trees, urging me to dig deeper, to uncover the truth that lay just beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed. Not everyone can feel it, but I knew the oak trees were more than just trees. They were living witnesses to time itself, holding stories, wisdom, and energy that we've only begun to understand. So now, dear radiant souls, let us journey deeper into the heart of time, where the veil between the past and the present begins to fade. Close your eyes if you wish, and allow yourself to be transported back to a time untouched by the modern world. Take a deep breath in, feeling the air fill your lungs. And as you exhale slowly, imagine the land as it was centuries ago, long before the towering buildings and bustling streets of Orlando took shape. Envision a vast, untamed expanse of nature stretching out before you. Rivers flowing gracefully. Their waters sparkling beneath the sun, and the majestic oak trees standing tall. Their limbs reaching skyward as if communing with the heavens. These ancient oaks spread their wide canopies, offering shelter and comfort to those who walked beneath them. Just as they continue to provide refuge for us today. With each deep breath, allow your body to relax and be carried on this journey through time. Feel the connection to the land, to the trees, and to the spirits that still linger in the spaces between worlds, guiding us with their silent wisdom. Let yourself be rooted in the presence of the oak trees, and in their branches hear the whispers of the past. As we journey deeper into this sacred land, we find ourselves in the presence of those who first walked these grounds, the Timucua people and, more specifically, the Acuera tribe, known as the people of the water. This land, now known as Orlando, was once their home, a place where they thrived in perfect harmony with nature. The Acuera, deeply connected to the lakes and rivers, honored the waters as sacred, life-giving forces that carried the spiritual energy of the earth upward to the heavens. While their name reflects this profound relationship with water, they were also known in spirit as timekeepers, a title symbolic of their understanding of the natural cycles, the sacred rhythms of life, and the eternal dance between the elements. Though history may not have officially bestowed this name upon them, we honor them with this title today, recognizing their deep wisdom and intimate connection with the seasons, the earth, and the flow of time. As timekeepers, the Aquera moved with the sacred dance of nature, attuned to the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Their lives were woven into the fabric of the earth and sky, each moment a reflection of the spiritual balance between the forces of nature. The Aquera revered the land, honoring the spirits of the earth, the rivers, and the mighty oak trees that provided them with shelter, wisdom, and a profound connection to their ancestors. Feel the deep reverence they held for the waters of this region. Every lake and waterway was considered a living, breathing entity. The Aquera performed sacred rituals and ceremonies, offering their gratitude to the rivers and springs that sustained them. As you stand in this ancient place, imagine the cool breeze of the rivers brushing against your skin, reminding you of the spiritual flow that continues to nourish this land. Their connection to nature extended far beyond the waters. The Aquera believed that every living thing, every tree, plant, and animal carried a spirit, a sacred presence to be honored. Envision the towering cypress trees, their roots sinking deep into the wetlands, serving as pillars between the earth and the spirit world. These trees, much like the oaks, were seen as bridges to the divine, connecting the Aquera to both the physical and spiritual realms. Their homes were always built near water, aligning them with the natural energies that flowed through the land. By living in harmony with the sacred forces of nature, the Aquera remained balanced, always in tune with the spiritual rhythms that governed their world. Now take another deep breath in, and as you exhale slowly, feel your body grounding into this sacred landscape. As we walk together through this ancient land, let the sacredness of each step fill your being. Aquera tribe, like other Timucua groups, embrace spiritual practices that honor their deep connection to nature and the divine forces that govern the cycles of life. They made offerings to the spirits of the earth, the sun, and the waters. Each element held its own guardian spirit. The sun, a powerful symbol of life and renewal, was revered, while the moon and stars guided them through the night, casting light upon their sacred ceremonies. The Aquera's reverence for their ancestors was woven into the fabric of their existence. They believed their elders continued to watch over them from the spirit world, offering guidance and protection. Imagine the sacred burial mounds near the waters, where the Aquera made offerings to ensure the continued connection to their ancestors. These places, even now, hold the energy of the past, calling us to remember and honor those who came before. Inhale deeply once more, and as you exhale, feel the ancient energy of the trees rooting themselves deep into the soil. The Aquera, too, were deeply rooted in their connection to the natural world, and their presence still lingers in the land we now call Orlando. Every oak tree you pass, every river that winds through this land carries the essence of the Aquera. Their spirits watch over this place, and today we honor them with reverence and gratitude. And now, as we continue our journey, let us delve even deeper into the sacred bond between the Aquera people and the land we now call Central Florida. Picture once more the sprawling oak trees towering over the ancient villages, their roots extending deep into the earth, holding the wisdom of countless generations. The Aquera lived in perfect harmony with these trees, not as mere parts of the landscape, but as sacred sentinels, ancient beings that bridge the physical and spiritual worlds. These majestic oaks, with their wide canopies and enduring strength, held more than the weight of time. They carried the essence of time itself. Just as the Aquera were deeply rooted in the cycles of nature, they honored the oak trees as symbols of endurance, strength, and spiritual continuity. Beneath these vast branches, heavy with the stories of centuries, the Aquera gathered in ceremony, listening to the whispers of their ancestors, carried by the rustling leaves. For the Aquera, time was not a linear passing of days. It was alive, sacred, flowing through every aspect of existence. They did not merely mark the cycles of the seasons, they lived within them, guided by the rhythms of the earth, the rivers, and the stars. This understanding made them timekeepers, guardians of the sacred flow of time, and stewards of the natural cycles that govern their world. Time, like the mighty oak trees, was an eternal cycle of birth, growth, death, and renewal. Now, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale slowly, imagine the Aquera standing beneath these towering oaks, offering prayers to the spirits that dwelled within. Their agricultural practices, planting maize, squash, and beans, were guided by the rhythms of nature, and their ceremonies aligned with the movements of the sun and moon. They knew when to plant, when to harvest, and when to celebrate, for they lived in perfect harmony with the cosmic forces that govern their world. But the Aquera's understanding of time extended far beyond the physical cycles of planting and harvesting. They believed in ancestral time, a spiritual continuum where the past, present, and future were eternally interwoven. Through their sacred rituals and ceremonies, often held at the base of the mighty oak trees, they communicated with their ancestors, seeking wisdom and protection. The towering oaks stood as living symbols of this eternal connection, their ancient presence a reminder of those who came before and continue to guide us today. And so, as we continue our journey together, let us honor the enduring wisdom of the Aquera, timekeepers of both the earth and spirit. They understood that time is not merely something that passes by. It is a force we move through, a thread that binds us to the land, to the trees, and to the spirits of our ancestors. Today, as we walk through this modern landscape, we carry their legacy with us, rooted in the soil beneath our feet, in harmony with the sacred cycles of life Now, continue with your deep breathing. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. As we continue our journey through time, we come to a moment of great change. A chapter when the harmony of this land was interrupted by the arrival of European explorers. The Aquera tribe, once a thriving people known as the Timekeepers, faced a deep and painful decline due to the relentless pressure of Spanish colonization. Spanish explorers like De Soto sought to extract valuable resources, including maize, from Aquera lands, often through force. Hernando de Soto, a Spanish explorer, attempted to assert dominance over the indigenous tribes, demanding submission. He sent emissaries to invite the Aquera chief to meet with him, but the chief boldly refused, rejecting the invitation with strong defiance. The Aquera chief, rather than submitting to Spanish control or risking capture, refused to meet with De Soto. He sent a powerful message back, stating that the Aquera people would never surrender or submit to Spanish rule. His words carried a deep sense of resilience and courage, making it clear that while De Soto's men might be able to capture some of the Aquera, they would never defeat their spirit or force them into submission. This message from the Aquera chief highlights not only his refusal to bend to foreign invaders, but also his determination to protect his people and their way of life. The Aquera's ability to resist, even in the face of overwhelming odds, demonstrates their deep connection to the land and their determination to protect it from outside forces. However, while they could fend off the Spanish militarily, they faced an invisible enemy they couldn't fight: diseases. The Spanish brought with them smallpox, measles, and influenza, which devastated the Aquera people, who had no immunity. However, though the Aquera may have vanished in physical form, their spiritual presence remains deeply rooted in this land. Their legacy lives on, woven into the very fabric of the earth. The oak trees that stand tall in Orlando and the surrounding areas still carry the essence of the Aquera's sacred connection to time and nature. When we walk beneath their ancient branches, we are not merely in the presence of trees. We are stepping into a sacred space where the spirits of the Aquera continue to reside, watching over the land they once fiercely protected. Even as the modern world hums through the streets of Orlando, the ancient spirits of the Aquera live on in the natural world around us. The oak trees lining the streets and standing tall in parks are more than just trees. They are living monuments, silent witnesses to a time long past. These trees carry the wisdom and legacy of the Aquera, a tribe that lived in profound harmony with the natural rhythms of the earth. We must remember that trees too are living beings. When one tree weakens, it reaches out through its roots, seeking strength and support from those around it. Their roots intertwine, creating a network of resilience and unity. Imagine if we could pause, even for a moment, when we step into a forest or a grove of trees, to honor their presence and feel the sacred spirits that dwell within them. When we walk into these sacred spaces, we are not alone. We walk in the footsteps of the ancestors, the original caretakers of this land. Though the Aquera may no longer walk these lands, their essence endures in the trees, the waters, and the winds that sweep through central Florida. In honoring this land, we honor the Aquera, the timekeepers who held the sacred knowledge of the earth and carried it forward through generations. As we stand beneath the canopy of an oak tree, let us remember that time is not something that simply passes. It is a living force, flowing through the roots of the trees, through the rivers, and through the air we breathe. We are all connected to the land, in some way, no matter where we were born. The spirits and ancestors who came before us are always present, watching over us. They see us, and at times they choose to connect with certain souls. In that sacred connection, we find our place within the eternal cycle of life, rooted in the land beneath us, whether it is the place of our birth or one we have come to know. Let us pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and honor the sacred presence of those who came before us, the original caretakers of this land. Their wisdom is still alive, carried in the wind, whispered through the trees, and flowing with the rivers. Beneath the shade of these ancient oaks, if you listen closely, you can still feel the echoes of the past. The presence of those who revered the cycles of life and held this earth as sacred. The spirits of the ancestors watch over us still, offering their protection and their wisdom. We are part of their legacy, woven into the same fabric of life that they once tended. And so, in this moment, with reverence in our hearts, we offer our deepest gratitude for their enduring presence and guidance. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow yourself to connect with the energy of this sacred place. Let us come together to offer a prayer of gratitude to the ancestors of this land. We give thanks to the ancestors, to the spirits who walked this land long before us, who lived in harmony with the earth, the sky, and the waters. We honor the Aquera, the timekeepers, who stood beneath these oak trees, whose wisdom still flows through the rivers and the winds. We are grateful for your presence, for watching over this land, and for watching over us. Though the world has changed, your essence endures, rooted in the soil, in the trees that still stand tall, and in the very air we breathe. May we walk with respect upon this earth, honoring the cycles of life as you did. In gratitude and reverence, we bow to you, knowing that you see us, hear us, and that through your eternal presence, we are connected to the heart of this land. And so it is. Now, take another deep breath in, and as you slowly exhale, feel the energy of this sacred journey beginning to settle within you. As we begin to close this profound journey, let us carry the sacred connection we've made today into the world around us. Remember that the land beneath your feet is not just soil. It is alive, pulsing with the energy of those who walked long before us. The oak trees, the rivers, and the winds still whisper their ancient stories, sharing the timeless wisdom of the Aquera, reminding us of the deep, unbreakable bond we have with the earth. We honor this bond not only in moments of reflection like these, but in every step we take upon the land each day, carrying with us the wisdom of the ancestors who continue to guide us. Thank you, dear radiant souls, for joining me on this sacred journey. May the wisdom of the timekeepers guide your path forward, and may you always feel the presence of the land and the spirits who dwell within it, watching over you, supporting you. Ayibobo, if this journey has touched your heart and spirit, I warmly invite you to stay connected with us. Please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video with others, so that together we may continue to honor the forgotten voices of the land and the wisdom of the ancestors. Ayibobo, stay within the light. Love always.